Hi, Pedro. My name is Ellen, and I'll be correcting this set of essays for you. I'm happy to see that you've signed up to the course and are completing your essays as part of the package. So let's take a look at what you wrote here. The first essay is about schools being more entertaining. Let's see what you said. Educating children has always been a challenging task, especially in our modern society. Opinions diverge as to educational methods, and some people believe that primary schools should provide more fun to children, while others argue that it should solely focus on teaching subjects. Okay, in this essay, I will explain why I firmly agree with the statement that educational institutions should proportionate entertainment to their students. Okay, I like this on the whole. I thought you did a very nice job. It's a solid beginning. You clearly expressed your position, so well done. There are a range of benefits children can take from the introduction of entertaining activities in their school life. The most important of all is the reduction of children's apostrophe S resistance to, I don't know what this means, frequent schools. I'm not sure about that. Since entertainment creates more relaxed moments, which are responsible for linking studies to positive feelings, absence rates tend to decrease. Many educational researchers defend that bringing music performances and games to the classroom, can effectively prevent chances of bullying among children. Therefore, they will connect studying to pleasure, not only to negative feelings or obligations. Okay, good. The psychological state of a person highly influences his or her learning capacity because negative emotions cause precarious attention, resulting in concentration problems. In this sense, leisure moments at school have been proven to enhance academic results. To illustrate this, many schools have been enforcing the relevance of teaching arts and music in their curriculum. This approach is generally reasonable in order to deal with the rising of academic pressure for outstanding grades. Okay, I had a little bit of a problem with this paragraph for a number of reasons. First of all, there's no link between these two paragraphs. Now, I'm not a huge fan of overusing linking devices like, um, however, furthermore, moreover, what's more, etc., etc. I'm not a huge fan of them. And in fact, using too many of them can basically bring your score down to a band 6 for coherence and cohesion. However, there are some times in some places where you do need some sort of a link. So between your two paragraphs was one of those places. I thought there needed to be something here joining them. Also, I thought this paragraph was a little underdeveloped. Um, it's about 4 sentences long from what I can see, and it was missing some important pieces. Like it didn't have a topic sentence, so I didn't know what this paragraph was about. Um, I mean, you went right into this argument here about let me read it again. The psychological state of a person highly influences his or her learning capacity because negative emotions cause precarious attention. And this is the wrong word here, by the way, precarious, resulting in concentration problems. So I'm like, what is the point of this paragraph? I didn't understand. Okay. So, in other words, you're saying that if a person feels negative about something, then they won't be able to concentrate. But but that's not what you actually are trying to tell us. You're trying to say that in contrast, leisure at school enhances academic results. Okay, so it's a little strange. The whole organization of this is a little not really well linked in a way that flows well. Okay. So I would have gotten rid of this sentence. I mean, essentially, what are you trying to tell us? You're trying to tell us, okay, here you told us that entertainment makes students more relaxed, it makes them more positive, etc., etc. Okay. Here, from what I understand, you're trying to tell us that it allows students to concentrate more. So I think what you could have done here is you could have said, in addition to creating positive feelings and reducing absenteeism in the classroom, entertainment in education has been found to have other benefits as well. One such benefit is that students have been found to concentrate more when entertainment is involved in the classroom. Okay? And then you could say, to illustrate this, many schools have, and this was also some wrong vocabulary, have been promoting teaching arts and music in their curriculum. And then you have to tell me why. I mean, are music and arts necessarily entertaining? They're entertaining when you're a spectator, when you're, viewing something or listening to something. But I mean, I know a lot of kids who aren't good at art or they don't like it. And so for them, having to paint something in an art class or draw something is definitely not entertaining. So, I mean, I want you to think about what entertaining means. It means fun, it means joyful, it means amusing, it means funny. Okay. So maybe this idea about teaching arts and music doesn't really fall under that kind of category. Okay, so maybe you could have picked something else here, going back to things like games or maybe role plays or maybe I'm not really sure what else. I'd have to think about it. But I hope you understand what it is I'm trying to say here. This, let's see. And then I don't know about this. This approach is totally reasonable in order to deal with the rising of academic pressure students have for outstanding grades. All right. Okay. So definitely some problems in terms of vocabulary, but also, as I said, missing some important elements to this paragraph to make it a fully well-structured, cohesive paragraph. Let's look at your conclusion. In conclusion, there is a huge misconception in the idea that the unique purpose of schools is teaching common subjects. Despite their understandable importance, there are many reasons behind what? How about this? There are many reasons that justify the incentive for leisure in schools. Otherwise, teachers will still face difficulties to attract students' attention, apostrophe after that S, and make them actually learn in a healthy psychological manner. I don't know. No, it's not healthy psychological. It's psychologically healthy manner. So for your first essay, I thought this was very nice. I thought you did a good job overall. Um, a lot of good natural vocabulary, grammar. Well, a lot of good natural grammar, I wanted to say. Vocabulary, you did have some errors here and there. So be careful with those. It's a good first essay. You used the structure very well, so well done there. Let's move on to your second essay about doing an enjoyable activity with a child and see what you said. Reading is the most ancient form of gaining knowledge after listening to oral speech. Some people think that when it comes to teaching children, practicing pleasurable activities not only can make them enhance better competencies. I don't know about this. You don't enhance better competencies. That's a strange expression. But also make them more creative. I totally agree with this statement, and I'll explain the reasons why I believe there are other great activities, but they do not lessen the importance of reading. Okay, that's how you phrase that. All right, let's see what you said. We don't say kids in IELTS essays. We say children because kids is really just too informal. So avoid it. Okay. Definitely just use the word children. It's okay if you repeat it. There's really very few substitutes for it. So it's fine. Just, use the word children or use a pronoun instead. All right. Let's move on. So many children suffer from lack of concentration, which is a capacity extremely required. Okay. No, you can't say this, that something is extremely required. Nor can you really call lack of concentration a capacity. So let's try it again. Many children suffer from lack of concentration, which, let's see. How about this? Many children struggle with concentration, which is required for the accomplishment of reading tasks. All right, this works a lot better because when you say a lack of concentration, then it's as if this is what is required, this lack of concentration, not just concentration, because your lead noun here is lack. Does that make sense? That's why I changed it. A struggle to concentrate. Then you can do this. All right. Since reading is an introverted activity, it can be really tough for younger brains as they focus with so much stimuli in the surrounding world. I don't really think introverted is the right word here. I think maybe solo or solitary. That's actually a great word to use here, a solitary activity. Therefore, the solution to this problem is found in memorization games and flashcards, which can help children truly learn words and meaning. Okay. Since these activities are more socially interactive, they tend to be considered more enjoyable than reading. Okay, I have to think about this paragraph. Let me finish your essay and then we'll see about that. We'll go back to it. Okay, there we go. Beyond the capacities provided by reading, there are others that children should be induced to develop, such as motor skills, which are extremely required. No, which are required. Okay, this is, it's an absolute, so you don't. It's not somewhat required, extremely, very required. It's just required. Okay, it either is required or it's not. So you don't put an adverb in front of it. So, which are required in the adult life. For tasks like driving, cooking, and manual work, physical activities far outweigh the relevance of reading because they provide practical knowledge. Similarly, in order to boost a child's creativity, it would be much better for him or her to be introduced to painting and drawing rather than stick to reading a book, which is still not less important, but it requires less body use. Okay. All right. So what is this paragraph about? It's about skills development, and it's also about creativity. Okay. In conclusion, despite the undeniable importance of reading, there are plenty of other types of activities that facilitate and no, not fasten. Fasten means something different. Like you fasten a snap. Okay, you fasten your seatbelt. And quicken is the word you want here. Learning experience depending on the kind of skill that is targeted for development. Okay, so let me go back because I know there was something I was concerned about here. So I definitely appreciate your attempt to talk about reading and skills and creativity. So this paragraph was about skills and creativity. I understood that. I do have some questions about this paragraph that talked about reading. So I do want to look at it just for a minute. Okay, so I think what we're struggling here with a little bit is coherence and cohesion. Okay, let me show you what I mean. So when you wrote your position, you said, I believe there are other great activities, but they do not lessen the importance of reading. So what do I understand? Because the position is like a blueprint for your essay, it's like a map essentially about what you're going to talk about in your body paragraphs. I assumed that you were going to talk about the importance of reading, why it's vital in developing skills, and then I also thought you were going to talk about other activities that help develop creativity and other sorts of skills. Okay, so when I got to your body paragraph, you talked about kids who struggle with reading because there's a lot of stimuli. It's hard for kids to concentrate. They want something interactive. And so instead, you said, well, then let them read and memorize flashcards and learn words. But that's so this paragraph really felt to me a little irrelevant and certainly not what it sounded like you were going to talk about here, because you talked about the importance of reading, but you didn't talk about the importance of reading. You talked about how hard it is for a child to do it. Okay, so something needed to change. Either your introduction needed to change so that it reflected what you wrote in your body paragraph, or your body paragraph needed to reflect what you said you were going to talk about in your introduction. Okay, and this is really important for coherence and cohesion. It has to be like a well-developed, solid, and a tightly organized whole. All right. So again, I thought you did a good job, but there are some things that you definitely want to work on. So I want you to be careful with some of the vocabulary. I want you to be careful with the linkage. I want you to be careful with cohesion for sure. All right, but nice job for your first set. So what I want you to do next is correct these essays based on the suggestions in this video. Also, I want you to create an error correction list with mistakes and the corrected version next to those mistakes. And then the third thing you're going to do is send us a new set of essays, okay, using everything that you've been learning so far. So I'll be waiting for that new set, and lots of good luck to you.